Hello friends, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe my channel, press the bell notification icon and hit the like button. Thank you.
Hello students, today I am going to explain CB amplifier experiment. This is transistor, this is emitter, arrow mark is there, emitter, collector, base. First we should connect this transistor in V shape, then terminal by terminal we are connecting the components. First at emitter side there are two components. One is RE which is 10 kilo ohm. Second one is electrolytic capacitor of 10 microfarad. Wherein negative terminal, we are seeing this is a bent terminal. Negative terminal should be connected to emitter. Positive terminal should be connected to 56 ohm. This is given to the input. Whereas at collector side there is RC which is also of 10 kilo ohm and non-electrolytic capacitor. Here however we can connect. I'll show these two connections while connecting the circuit. Then from this collector to the base we are connecting 5.6 kilo ohm. Resistor which is connected to emitter should be connected to minus VEE, wherein resistor which is connected to collector should be given to plus VCC. Resistor which is connected to emitter is given to minus VEE, that is minus 12 volt, wherein resistor which is connected to collector is given to plus VCC. This is for biasing or to set the Q point. Tabular column will be like this, wherein frequency, output voltage in volts, voltage gain. Frequency is varied in steps of 100, 300, 500 up to 1 mega. Output voltage will be measured through CRO, then voltage gain is calculated. This is the transistor. You can see the notch here. From this notch, immediate terminal is emitter, middle one is base, the other one is collector. Then I need to connect this to the holder, transistor holder. Once I connect this, again I will see where is the notch and which is emitter. So according to this connection, red is emitter, brown wire is base, black wire is collector. So after connecting this, I am connecting this to the circuit board, emitter, base, collector.
Red wire as emitter, brown wire as base and black wire as collector in V shape.
First, I have to start with emitter terminal. As I said, I am taking two components. One is 10K resistor, brown, black, orange, and another one is electrolytic capacitor. You can notice electrolytic capacitor. There is a line here which is written as negative. Usually we take shorter lead as negative. So this negative terminal should be connected to emitter and positive terminal to some other terminal. Then 10K also should be connected to emitter and I will connect 10K to other terminal. Two components I have connected here. So this is green, blue, brown. 56 ohm resistor is connected to electrolytic capacitor and to some other terminal where input is given. Then coming to collector terminal, here also there are two components connected at collector. One is 10 kilo ohm resistor. I am connecting 10 kilo like this. I'm just connecting as it is in the circuit so that it will be easier for you to follow. Then non-electrolytic capacitor. As I said, there is no terminal restrictions here. I can connect anyhow. You could notice that the other end of this non-electrolytic capacitor is very near to base. So that between this base and this non-electrolytic capacitor, I can connect a resistor of 5.6 kilo ohm. The color code will be green, blue, red. So 5.6 kilo ohm I have connected. Now I need to connect the wires. So how to connect the wires? A resistor which is connected to emitter should go to negative of the dual supply. Negative of the fixed power supply. We call it as dual supply because we have two supplies together. Then collector resistor RC, this end should go to plus 12 volt, that is positive of the supply. From base go to the ground connection. So I have done the circuit connection now. I need to check the DC biasing condition. I'll switch on this. I will take a multimeter, base to negative, emitter to positive. I am getting minus 0.57. Then again base to negative. Now I need to keep this at collector. So I am getting 0.33. This is VCB. Why I need to write VEB, VCB is to know that whether DC conditions are satisfied. We can go for the second step. This is the first step. After this we can go to the second step. This is the first step. We'll keep this aside right now. Then take function generator, positive of the function generator to positive of the CRO, negative of the function generator to negative of the CRO. That's it. Directly I have connected this function generator and CRO. Now I will show you the initial adjustments. In CRO, you channel 1 50 millivolt in CRO. Then you should keep this variable, both the variables at maximum position. Different CROs have different panels, but the functions of those variables are same. So you can see variable, keep that variables towards the rightmost point. Coming to function generator now, what you need to do is keep this is a voltage range, keep this to 0.2 range. This is the frequency. For frequency 10K into 0.5. You can notice here it is 0.5. This dial graduation is 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 like this. So if I keep it at 0.5, 0.5 into 10K, that is 5K. I am keeping this at 5K and I kept CRO at 50 millivolt. Now what I should do is, I need to vary this. This is a fine knob. I need to vary this in such a way that on CRO, the height of the waveform should be 1 centimeter. The height of the waveform should be 1 centimeter. So what I should do is, I can vary this knob and adjust the height to 1 centimeter. I can make use of this position knobs to check whether it is at 1 centimeter. Now you could notice height is 1 centimeter, division is 50 millivolt, then the input is 50 millivolt. So this is the second step. So I set the input voltage, I check the DC condition. Now I need to connect to the circuit. How do I connect? I disconnected these things. I just took first, this is a function generator probe. I connect this function generator probe, negative to base, positive to this 56 ohm resistor. Negative to base and positive to 56 ohm resistor. Then I take the CRO probe. This is the CRO probe. Again, negative should be connected to base because it is a common ground. Positive, the other end of that resistor I need to connect. As soon as I connect here, you can notice what happened to the CRO. You are thinking the waveform is not come, but you can observe here, I am shifting this to 1 volt. Could you notice the waveform was amplified? That is why we are not seeing that properly. I am using position knob to adjust this. So this shows that my circuit is working properly. Now it is ready to take the readings. What should I do for readings? Now I have to start the experiment. First, I need to keep it at 100 Hertz. 1K into 0.1 is 100 Hertz. Once I will show the function generator, once I will show the CRO to understand. So 1K into 0.1 is 100 Hertz. What has happened to the waveform? Let us see the CRO. See, it is looking like this. I need to change this a little bit, this side, left side. Could you notice now the waveform? And I'm not touching these two. I'm just measuring this height. It is completely 1 centimeter. I need to write there as 1 centimeter. That is, height is 1 into, I kept the volt per division also 1, so that 1 volt. Then I need to vary it to 300 Hertz. Could you notice 300 Hertz, 1K into 0.3. Now see what happened to the waveform. It will display like this. I need to rearrange this once again like this on the line, reference line. Then I need to measure. I can push this position knob I can use and I can make the waveform like this so that I can measure the peak value. Now this is one complete box and one subdivision. Each subdivision is 0.2 because only 5 subdivisions are there. Each box is 1 centimeter height and 1 centimeter width. So that it is 1.2 into 1 volt. So I need to enter this reading. 1.2 into 1, that is 1.2 volt. Next, I need to make it to 500 Hertz. You could notice the waveform, little bit variation is there. Adjust using this position knob. You can reduce this to 0.5, then take a proper reading. You can notice here 1, 2, 2.5, then 2.6. It is going to 2.6. 2.6 into 0.5 is nothing but 1.3 into 1. That is nothing but 1.3 volt. So I can measure it in 1 volt range or I can measure it in 0.5 range. Now I need to change it to 700 Hertz. I changed it to 700 Hertz. You can see here waveform. I'll just use position knob. There is no change in the waveform. The height remains the same. Now same value. See 700. 1K also I will show you. See here 1K I have kept. Same height. There is no change. So what I can do is I can write here 1.3 volt. 1.3 volt. 2 readings I checked now. After this, I need to go to 3K. That is 10K into 0.3. You can notice here, there is no change in the height. You can notice here, there is no change in the height. Only the width of the waveform is reducing because frequency is increasing. Now I will focus only on CRO. But I will vary the knob. I'll show you how do I vary. See, this is 3K. 3K to 10K I will vary like this. I will show the waveform how it comes. See, I am varying 3K to 5K to 10K. There is no change in the height of the waveform. Again, I am shifting 10K to 100K range. 0.3 means 30K. You can notice here in the CRO 30K, 50K, 70K, 100K. It looks like a band because very less time period will be there, but height is not changed. So what I can do is I can write here, this is 100K, right? Up to here I can write 1.3 volt. Initially it increased, it becomes constant. Now I have to do for 30K, 300K. I will press 1 mega into 0.3, 300K. The moment I press this, you can notice the waveform. What happened to the waveform? See, the height is reduced. I need to use this position knob, bring it to the reference line. Could you notice the height is changed? Now it is 0.9. So it is between 0.8 and 1, so 0.9. So 300k it is 0.9 volt. Now I will change it to 500k, 0.5 into 1 mega, 0.5 mega, which is nothing but 500k. Now still there is a change in waveform. Use this knob to adjust and see 0.7 it is coming now. So I'll write 0.7 volt. Then 700k, I will rearrange it. Small change it is 0.6, I will write. Then 1 mega I will take. 1 mega. You could notice the waveform still shrinking. I'll readjust this. You could notice it has dropped down to 0.4. 0.6 to 0.4 volt. So initially it increased, becomes constant and then decreases. You need to calculate the gain. How do you calculate the gain? Say V in was 50 millivolt, means 0.05 volt. I need to take those two things into consideration. Output is 1 divided by input is 0.05. So that I got this as 20. No units because it is volt by voltage. So get cancelled. Second one is output is 1.2 divided by input is 0.05. That means I am getting this as 24. Third one, 1.3 divided by 0.05. I am getting 26. Since all these things are there, up to here it is 26. Then 0.9 by 0.05. I am getting this as 18. 0.7 divided by 0.05. This is 14. 0.6 divided by 0.05. This is 12. 0.4 divided by 0.05. I am getting 8. Now I need to plot this in a graph called as semi-log graph sheet. This is a semi-log graph sheet. What we need to write as scale as x-axis frequency in hertz and y-axis 1 unit I need to write is equal to 5 AV. AV is for voltage gain. Here I am not writing 1 unit because you are noticing it here, the graph, it is not a regular scale. 1, 2, 3 up to 9, it is decreasing in size. Again, it increased between 1 to 2 like this. It is like a block. That is why it is called as semi-log, because y-axis you have got regular interval, x-axis is irregular interval. One axis is according to logarithmic scale, one axis is according to normal scale. That is why it is called as semi-log graph sheet. How do we plot it? Wherever 1 is there, I can write it as 10 power. What I can do here is, I can take 10 power 1, 10 power 2, 10 power 3, 10 power 4, 10 power 5, 10 power 6. Means this whole block will vary in steps of 10 hertz. 20, 30, 40, 60, 90, 100. Whereas this whole block will vary in steps of 100, 200, 300, 700, 800 like this. Whereas this whole block will vary in steps of 1k because 10 raised to 3 is 1k, 2k, 5k, 7k, 10k. Once we reach to 10k, this whole block will vary in steps of 10k, 20k, 30k, 50k, 100k. Then this whole block will vary as 100k, that is 200, 300, 500, 900, 1 mega like this. Whereas this is the 0th place, frequency is according to x-axis only, y-axis we are writing gain as 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Now let us see how to plot. 100 hertz is this. For 100 hertz, I am getting 20. Mark it. Then for 300 hertz is this line. I am getting 24. See, 10 divisions is 5 means 2 divisions is 1. So 24 will come here. Then for 500, this is 500, you are noticing it 500. 500 I am getting it as 26. After that you are noticing it up to 100k it is same. You can see here from 500 hertz up to 100k it is 26. So in what range are we varying? See, after 500, 700 is 26, 1k is 26, 3k is 26, 5k is 26, 7k, 10k, then 30k, 50k, 70k, 100k. Up to here it is same. 20, 19 will be the 18 point. You can even see 15, 16, 17, 18. Then 500k it is 14. This is 500k. 14 will come here. Then 700k. This is 700k. 12 will come here. Then 1 mega. 8 it is coming. 8 will be here. See, freehand. Join these points and you could notice that you got the graph. What I do is I'll just extend this like this on the same line just to get F1 in case if I can't get F1. Now I need to see midband gain 26 divided by root 2. What I am getting? 18.3. I need to mark this 18.3, that is I can take it as 18, right? Or 18.5 also I can take. So I need to use a scale and draw this dotted line at 18. You are noticing it is touching at 2 points. I need to drop down this point like this. I can mark F1 here. This is 70, 80, 90, 100. So F1 is 70 hertz. I will convert this to kilo. It becomes 0.07 kilohertz. Then coming to F2. F2 is 300k or kilohertz. One more thing, students, we should see between 1 to 5, the subdivisions what is given is 10 lines. 1 to 2, 10, 2 to 3, 10, 3 to 4, 10, 4 to 5, 10. Whereas after 5, 5 to 6 only 5 subdivisions, 6 to 7, 5, 7 to 8, 5 like this. So in case if it is the third division here, it becomes 130 kilohertz. Whereas the same third division comes after 5, it becomes 560 kilohertz, not 530. Because 5 divisions means 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 like that. So that we should see. Here it has come as exactly on the line. So that problem will not be there. If it comes in between, we should see. Now you need to write bandwidth. Bandwidth is equal to F2 minus F1. This is 300 kilohertz minus 0.07 kilohertz. If you subtract this, this will become 299.13 kilohertz. After once you find out this bandwidth, you need to fill the result. You need to fill the result column, that is DC biasing condition, then what is F1, what is F2, what is bandwidth. That's how we complete the CB amplifier experiment. Thank you.